Hi guys, welcome back to my video. Topic today is class between the General Secretary of the UK National Union of Road, Maritime and Transport Workers or RMT has warned that the collision between a Valaris-owned rig and a platform supplied to vessel PSV in the North Sea highlight the hidden safety threat to arising from the race to win lucrative to deal for the sake of profit while it is granting proper to maritime procedures. The PSV benefits to collide with the Valaris-owned Valaris 292 forward exco 292 check up rig to on 17 November 2021. In the North Sea, the PSV was to previously owned by Global Offshore Service. However, it is now understood that the vessel is currently managed by Columbia Ship to Management. Crew on board the CSM Energy managed to vessel benefits gathered for a team photo after running a successful drill. A month after the collision on 17 December 2021, the Health and Safety Executive or HSA served a notice against Valaris stating that the offshore drilling contractor was failing to ensure the health and safety of its employees and ordered to a failure to implement a safe system of work to control vessel to expression within the 500-meter safety zone around the installation. The safety wardrobe to further explain it that the Valaris rig was involved in cargo transfer operation with the PSV Benevis at the time of the collision. The PSV was one to drive on site of Valaris 92 and the current were to passing is toward the rig, which resulted in the vessel crashing onto the forward leg of the rig, causing it to sustain significant damage, take on the water and return to port for repairs. Therefore, the HSA claims that Valaris operation contrary to the recognized marine industry practice and guidelines and without and sufficient risk assessment and given most to regulator in Britain and Rotterdam for failing to pay severance wages and a poverty rate. Now the new owner has to be involved in an incident which reflects a safety culture underpinned by commercial pressure. In a statement on Thursday, Lancy, an RMT General Secretary remanded the previous owner of the mill said to Flages. Benevis was called out of the maritime regulator in Aberdeen and Rotterdam for failing to pay severance wages and at poverty to rates. Now the new owner has been involved in an insight to which reflect on the wages and the poverty underpinned by commercial pressure. Specifically, back on the 14th December 2020, the PSV Benevis was destined by the Dutch authorities in the port of the Rotterdam for failure to pay 15 crew members for their work in October and November that year, commercing and the failure to pay crew wages. Mika's RMT General Secretary at the time said in December 2020, the craving again another providing crew from their to abusive, low-cost practice too much be exposed and the prevented from tendering for supply chain contact on any part of the European continental to south. The last two incident between the Valaris rig and the PSV fee-benefit service to emphasize the determinant of shaping the bottom line without paying proper attention to the safety feature and standards which are needed to limit the risk of injury arising from such a collision based on the RMC latest statement. In line with this, leans to audit the Valeris installation was damaged and the lives were endangered as the vessel was continuously to operate in contravention of the procedure and the good maritime practice. Commercial pressure is driving this dangerous behavior we have to repeatedly called on industry and the government to address the issues around commercial pressure, otherwise operators will continue to drive down standards, especially on health and safety, as well as pay criminal level and the fatigue across the contractor supply chain. PSV benefits costly of global offshore service. The RMT General Secretary also explained that the consequences of such behavior are already visible within the PSV industry, and in this case, non-compliance with basic safety standard in order to win profitable contract in the North Sea as a result of such malpractice and failures to comply with maritime regulation and safety standard. Voyages are extended on board vessels for 2 or more months. Workers are underpaid or they do not receive wages for months at a time. The industry supply chain principle have to be stricted or reputable vessel operator employing to domestic crews with proven to safety standard and doesn't to pay, and the condition will continue to be undermined by this disgraceful race to the bottom. With that, the will see the potential seriousness of this incident increase, conclude Lins. All recoil with to explosion and injuries was to effect. Emergency evacuation by helicopter, offshore oil and gas fell to case of the emergency case. Firefighter operation to control live fire on oil and gas platform. Offshore was to case and cannot control fire. Were you injured while to working on an oil rig or in the oil field as the result of lack of the safety equipment. For maintenance neglect of the other issues, working on an oil rig is a risky job involving heavy machinery and evaluation. Substance oil field injuries and explosion are not uncommon, and while oil companies insist that this work in the dangerous and some accidents are unavailable, the fact is that the most common cause of oil explosion is negligence. The Deepwater to Horizon oil rig explosion and spill in April 2010 was both the largest and the deadline of its kind. A total of 11 people were killed and 17 more were injured. Many more such explosions occur without getting the same kind of media attention. Even when the workers are not killed as a result, they are too often left injured and feeling like they don't have option for holding those responsible accountable. Thousands of Americans face this risk daily, measures the rate to upward of 150 oil rig explosion injuries from offshore incident, according to the Bureau of Safety and Environmental Enforcement. Notably, offshore oil and gas forward to what fatalities are underreported per WW No Public Radio. BSII reporting criteria are strict elimination. Nearly all of the canoeing to short worker fatalities in the Gulf of Mexico from 2005 to 2019. Workers who have been injured in an oil rig explosion caused by poor maintenance, neglect, or the like might be able to file a lawsuit and obtain compensation for their medical bills, lost work, and other damage. Do you qualify if you were injured in an inshore of the offshore rig explosion within the last 3 years and went to the hospital because of these injuries, not limited to outcomes to hospitalization? You might be able to join this oil rig explosions lawsuit investigation and pursue compensation.